You're not supposed to know this stuff. I want to live the latter stages of my life principle oriented and have a clean conscience that the things that I've known for years that I was told not to share with anybody else, I had to create a language. In that language, it wasn't easy. Let's be honest. It wasn't easy for me to try to bridge what it was that goes on versus what could be talked about and not get me in trouble. Oh, what do you mean by that? You're not supposed to know this stuff. So if I make up, well, terms and usages of theories that would be very, very close, very, very, very close, okay, to what the actual algorithms do in the marketplace. Now, when I say algorithms, there's two of them that dance together. The engine that runs price, that is the algorithm. How does that work with smart money algorithms that engage price engines? Where do they enter their orders? Where do they adjust their orders? Where do they close their orders? See, that's that synergy between both of them that I had to create a language to be able to communicate how that happens and not divulge what has been given to me that you are never going to learn. Oh, here we go with this Tom Clancy shit. I don't give a fuck if you believe it or not. You explain how I can do what I can do and find it anywhere else in any other fucking theory or retail horseshit or some super power engine, black box horseshit that doesn't work. I know it sounds arrogant, but it annoys me that people see the obvious and they still can't see it. I'm going to literally sit down with you and map out every 1 minute and 5 minute candle, real time, 2 times a week. You're going to see it. You're going to walk it with me. Every fucking candle. Nobody does that but me. And I'm looking forward to it because I know jaws are going to be hitting the floor. People are going to be shitting and falling back in it because they're going to be like, damn, this guy is exactly what he said he was. Yep. And I never had to be more than what you saw. And here's the kicker. Even after this, there's still going to be people out there and they're going to say, yeah, but he didn't do this. He didn't trade in front of you. He didn't do this and that. See, these are the same people that have sorry ass win records. Their stats suck. They can only over leverage and gamble. And they call that skill. That's not skill. I'm not a 50-50 trader. Notice that? I don't want to have a 50-50 strike rate. I don't want to operate or engage in an environment that invites only that as a possible outcome. I want to be in there when the stage is set for me to obviously get everything I could possibly garner as an odds in my favor. And you not knowing those things right now is a cause for you to feel anxious. Like I'm hiding something from you. I'm promising you all the things that I'm never going to divulge past what I've already done. I never, ever have to teach those things. I have simplified things. Like there are simple macros in the marketplace that run every single day. And you can find them and make money. That's what I was talking about with that 5-handle move. You can find a 5-handle move every single fucking day. I don't give a shit if it's seek and destroy. I don't care if it's a trending day, if it's a consolidation day, if it's a classic buy day, classic sell day. It doesn't matter. I can go in and you can too. After 2023, you'll be able to find a 5-handle move. That's 20 ticks in the S&P. You can make a career out of that. What if you parlay that up and use money management to build it up? As you make more money, it allows you and affords you to do what? Carry more contracts and not increase the percentage of risk. It stays the same. What does that mean? Well, let's say you start with a hypothetical funded account of $10,000. Okay. Oh, and you can't make a lot of money with $10,000. Well, Larry Williams did in 1 year. You can't make what? You don't think you can make tenfold on that over a course of a year? I think you can. I believe it's possible. So stop listening to these fucking people that say you have to have $300,000 of funded account to make money. Bullshit. Last time we talked, I said, what if you get that funded account for 100,000 and you just make 1.5% a week? That's 6% per month. Compounded over the year, that's 100%. It means you made six figures, $100,000. Tax it, you probably got about anywhere, depending upon where you're at in the United States, and I can only talk from the United States perspective. And barring any kind of special tax treatment, the likelihood of you getting trader status in the first year of trading is not likely. You have to have a track record. So you have what? 100,000, tax it, you probably got anywhere between $68,000 and $72,000. That's a good living, folks. That's a good living. Now, if you just did that every year and you did nothing more than that, are you failing? Did you miss the mark? How do you rate in your social media equity curve amongst your friends and family on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram? Do you feel like you're not up to snuff with them? Stop worrying about them motherfuckers. 90% of these people don't even make money. 90% of them can't fucking trade. And if they are with a little bit of money, they've made their money selling shit. And I've been very open and honest with you. I have made more money selling education than I did my live trading. It's easy. People pile in, they want to learn, they'll pay. Trades you have to wait for. You have to wrestle through. You have to wait, lose, come back, lose. It's a lot. And when you learn how to trade and do well, guess what? If you want to use that as an income source, I don't think there's anything. It's just because I stopped doing it just to prove a point to everybody because, he makes his money doing this. Okay, well, I'll stop doing that. But these same fuckers are out there trying to sell new shit. Oh, shit. With 12-year-old furniture in their house, dusty as shit. So you have all kinds of potential income streams laid at your feet once you know how to do this. You could be in fund management. You can be in prop firm. You can educate. You can do signal services. You can do YouTube channels. I mean, there's nothing limiting you. Once you learn how to do this the right way, much you have at the start if you understand how to use compound interest. Compound interest in the hands of someone that's capable, all you have to do is find something that repeats, that's measurable, just has a statistical probability of repeating more times than not in the future, and you have a fixed position in terms of how much money you can lose. Now, I'm saying that with quotations in the air with my fingers, okay? Because for purposes of CFTC regulations and required risk disclaimers that I can't show you here, past performance is not indicative of future results, and you can lose more than you have in your account. Putting that aside, because that's reality, you're opening yourself up to risk by having that specific number of handles of stop loss. In my son's case, I told him his model needs to be 20 handles. That allows for a lot of wiggle room. On a 1-minute chart, it gives you a lot of wiggle room. Because if your setup's really there, it's not going to fuck around and go against you when the fair value gets traded into. It's not going to rip through that bitch 20 handles and still go the other direction. That's not happening. Okay? That's not happening. And you only have one chance. chart now, and your impulsiveness, and because you're hopped up, expression for me to explain to you that you've lost all sense of rational thinking. You have the feeling, imagine you won the lottery and it was the 750 million or $1 billion bullshit that they say that exists, and you won that. Try to describe what that might feel. You can't even come close to it because you're never going to be there. But the person that would be there, they're euphoric. They're out of their fucking mind. And that feeling, because you've never been there before, will make you think that you are better than you really are, and you're going to go in there and do the same thing again when there ain't a setup. Somebody with a rule-based idea, a rule-based protocol to trading and assuming risk and managing that risk appropriately, will say, I've done my executions, I've entered and ended the trade, I'm done. My rules say I can only do one setup. I don't give a fuck how much it runs. There's going to be all the people out there, oh, but ICT saying you shouldn't do this. And listen, for the fucking people that say that shit, come forward with your fucking results. Okay? Come forward with your fucking results, because nobody's got time for your Mickey Mouse fucking opinions. I sure as fucking don't have the time for it. I got till November. I'm looking at my fucking watch here. We ain't got much fucking time. Bring your shit. Bring your fucking shit or remain silent, because I'm done. I'm fucking done. I stayed a year longer on this fucking application on Twitter, longer than I wanted to be. Bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. You want to learn how to make money? Fine. Show up, roll your fucking sleeves up, take notes, and listen. Do everything I say to do, and don't do the things I say not to do. Expect it to take a minimum of a year. Minimum. Because there's things that you have to practice. There's things that you have to look forward to and see if they pan out. If they don't pan out, what does that make you feel like as a trader? What does it give you in terms of impulsiveness? Does it make you feel like you got to do something to fix that problem? Do you feel uncomfortable about being wrong? Those are things that people don't realize until they go through it. But they put blinders on and say, fuck it, that doesn't really exist. I need to go into the next trade and over leverage. I need to refund my fucking shit. I got to reset my stuff. I got to go ahead and make the world believe I'm a good fucking trader. I got to show my stuff on the internet. I got to do a MyFX book because nobody believes that I'm making profits. Nobody gives a fuck if you're making profits. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a fuck that I'm making money. Nobody gives a shit. Why are you worrying about fucking shit that doesn't make any more fucking money for you? But you're increasing your fucking concern about shit that's going to have more negative impact than it's going to help you positively. I don't understand how many fucking people can have their head so far up their own ass that they can't see that that's counterproductive. You'll do all that extracurricular bullshit that's going to hold you back and distract you from actually doing the work than simply doing 25% of the effort you're doing to do everything opposed to following instructions, and then finding the success that you say doesn't fucking exist. It's asinine. I don't understand. I don't understand why so many fucking people drag their feet. It's for free. It's fucking proven it fucking works. It's proof. Come on. Seriously, why the fuck are you waiting around? Get in there and start. Don't tinker with the fucking rules. Don't bring your bullshit. GAN is not part of this fucking discussion. Unless I talk about it. Unless it's part of the fucking issue and the model that's being exposed, and as far as this is the time you're going to trade. This is the time where if you don't have a trade and it's this time of the day, you cannot take a trade. I don't give a fuck if anything happens after that. You can't trade. Period. That right there cancels about 75% of you. Well, I can't do it because, okay. I'm not going to stop fucking being me. I'm not going to stop living my life. I'm not going to stop being who I am because a certain percentage of my viewership can't do something. You said you can't. I didn't say you can't. You fucking said you can't. Because you said you can't, I fucking believe you. I absolutely believe that you can't do it. I believe you. You don't have to argue with me. You don't have to convince me. It's a settled matter. You said you can't, therefore you can't. When you change your mind and say, I can, I believe you. You don't need to convince me. I absolutely have proof that you can. Before you get your proof, I already know you can. But I'm in a position where I don't need to be swayed. I don't need to prove shit to nobody else. The proof's already out there. And I'm inviting all of you to simply investigate it on your own, and that way you'll find it for yourself. And when you get it, even if it's the $80 win, $80 a couple times a week, you know what that does? That pays for your fucking groceries. Yeah. It pays for a car payment, maybe a cell phone bill in addition to that. And then what happens over time? Wow. You know, I'm really learning how to do this. I can now apply more effort and more equity. And then you compound that same cookie cutter approach that you've been doing with a micro account, micro contract. Now you're trading minis. And eventually dozens of them. And guess what happens then? Your frequency of trading drops. What did you say? Wait a minute, I'm already got my calculator here, and I'm doing 50 contracts of NASDAQ at this, and I'm trying to do it Monday through Friday. And this motherfucker just came out and said, trade less. Trade less? Man, what is this guy on? I'm on the reality tip. Because when you start making 5 figures a week, why the fuck are you going to push it? Live your life. Live it. Some of you, not all of you, some of you would find the very existence that's going to be absolutely phenomenal for you, and you don't have to make $1 million a year. Many of you think that you have to be a millionaire every year over and over and over again, or you're not successful. That's bullshit. Because the person that finds their income and then a surplus income beyond that, outside of their job, and they no longer need their job and they fire their boss, I'm going to tell you, that's a person that's walking on fucking clouds right now. They're absolutely comfortable inside their own skin. And they're not the ones out here trying to prove it to anybody, because they don't give a fuck. They have got a lifestyle now that they are not plugging into social media, which is 90% of horseshit and fucking negativity. They're not giving a fuck if somebody doesn't believe. You think they care who doesn't? They don't even know these people exist that doubt what they do. They don't give a shit. And that's how I've been. And I'm going back to that in November. I don't give a fuck who doesn't like me, who doesn't believe in me, I don't give a shit. But I have left my fucking legacy in this fucking industry.